All right, here is our masterclass about how to use the personal calendar for your success in life and happiness. I'm Svetlana, intentional clarity coach. I work with people on how to find the energy and bring it into action. And as a Syucai master, my intention is to bring everybody who comes to my practice to success. Right here with me are Syucai masters who will introduce themselves, and then we will go to the theme of our work today, how to use the calendar and what to do with the energy of the day. So,
Hello, my name is Vanessa Kanti, and I'm from New York, board certified behavior analyst and speech pathologist, working with kids during their hours so on disability, and also master Syucai.
Okay, Diana?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Diana. I'm a nurse practitioner. I live in Nevada, and my specialty is family. I wouldn't call myself a master yet, but I'm a student, so I'm happy to be here, happy to learn, and happy to ask questions.
Great. So being a master of Syucai is about mastering your life. Everybody here has a different profession. I'm probably the only one who's actually doing consultations as my profession from 2003. But Syucai is the knowledge that is great for any profession, because this is the science that could be applied. It's applied science that could be applied to any profession, to any life situation, to relationships, to how find the best calling for yourself, how to build your life. All of that is the knowledge that is cyclically presented through symbols of energy in Syucai. And the symbols of different qualities of the energies in Syucai are the numbers between 1 and 9. And so what we're going to talk about today is how to use those numbers, those qualities of life, those qualities of personalities and qualities of actions and qualities of the days that are ahead of us or behind us. So we can harness the energetic influences of our environment while at the same time find the way to accomplish what we want without too much effort. And of course, we all grew up in a society, all three of us, that is about without hard work, you will not gain anything. And actually 80% of the people believe it, and 80% of the people, consumers, who live in this running after money kind of mode, without understanding that on some days those things cannot be accomplished that you planned, and on some other days it will happen just because the energy supports you. And of course, working smart, not just hard, is always useful, especially if you work with people. Because when you work with the machinery, the energy of the machinery is a little slow. So you have time to understand how to work with it and then learn the instructions and then be able to move forward with your work. But when you work with people, like all three of us do, the decisions need to be made on the spot. We need to understand who are we dealing with, what this person wants and needs, and how we can be at our best serving these people without losing our own boundaries, without losing our energy, and delivering our service in a way that is useful for everybody involved. And every day and every month and every year has the cycles of energy, as I said, and those cycles of energy repeat every 9 days. So what's good about it is once you learn about these 9 days of how they fluctuate and what happens in your life during this time, you can reuse it. So it's not something that you have to figure out every time. You have a personal business calendar, and in this business calendar, every day has the information. So there are calendars in Russian language and in English, and you can simply purchase it. Knowledge is an interesting thing. You can learn it through crisis. You can go through many different problems and then understand how things work. Or you can learn and then use your time to see how it works in your life. But at least you have a guidance. So the personal business calendar is the guide to harnessing energies and accomplishing things that are on your list. So how this calendar works? First of all, since we have 9 different days and 9 different months and 9 different years in each cycle, but the energy is extremely similar. Of course, the amount of time for these energies, how long that energy works, is different. You can still experience that and apply the energy that you feel in a day, which is extremely fast, 24 hours, half of which you sleep. You can then apply it in a month. Let's say day first is about the beginning. Day first is about strategizing your day, making a plan, understanding where your energy does not work well, seeing who is strategizing your life, understanding that maybe some of the things you need to delegate because it's not yours to do and you are in charge of your life, not somebody else. Looking into goals that you set up for yourself and seeing which ones are old and you're not going to take them into a new cycle. So those are just some ideas and suggestions about day one. But once you understand that, you can also apply it for the year one or the month one. So the year is mostly the longest energy of the cycle. And throughout the year, you can meet that energy only once, but all the time. But the month, of course, is changing every 30 days. So you can experience that energy in a shorter time, which means you need to condense your strategy to what is important for this month. And then maybe in this month, you strategize the whole year. And the energy of the day is extremely short. And maybe in this one day, you can sit down and plan the day really well. So you gain the knowledge, the skill, the experience and expertise of how to plan the day, which is much easier than to plan the whole year. And what I've observed throughout my life, that usually on the day of your birth and going forward the next couple of weeks, you will experience the most intense information that will unfold for you throughout the year. And what I also experienced about birthdays, that right before your birthday, you have a month or 2 months that is like a review of what's going to happen in the next year. So there is always some symbols that come through, and you can look at different numbers to decipher those symbols. But when you have a personal business calendar, you can set the goal, individual goal, that you can identify for this day when you understand your point A. So the whole work starts with, where am I now? So if you're listening to this right this moment and you didn't have the calendar and you didn't know it even exists, you probably planned your days according to the numbers 1 to 31 or 1 to 30 or 1 to 28 in February. So, but probably you have something on your calendar. You know when you meet the clients, you know when you go out, you know when you travel some places, you know what kind of courses you take and when those courses happen. So you do have some sort of planning. Without planning in our modern life, we would not be able to accomplish anything because we have an overload of information. But now you have a simplified way. You only plan for 9 days at a time. So what happens after 9 days is over, you start repeating it again, but now it's like a spiral. You've had the base of the month with first 9 days. The next 9 days is the same thing, but elevated, because if you planned and you put some markers and you've accomplished something what you've planned, then the next 9 days will help you amplify that accomplishment. So on the day one of this month, for example, you plan something. In 9 days, then day one comes again, and you look at what you've accomplished and you strategize the next 9 days. And then the next 9 day comes, and you already have 2 levels of your planning accomplished. And so every time it helps you clarify, identify nuances and what needs to be done. But the word strategy itself means a long, something to look forward to. And we can look into a year as a big strategic plan. A month would be mid-sized goals, and a day would be more tactical. Yeah, so it's a strategy of a shorter time. So setting goal is not just about dreams. It's also about looking at your plan and seeing what are these goals that you wanted to accomplish might no longer be yours at this point, because you grow, you learn, you go through the cycles, and you might realize that it's not something that's that important. What it also helps you to do, the calendar, is to activate your latent energies. Some of the energies that you feel but don't really notice. And that happens to all of us. We are on the run all the time. We always have a little bit of a stress moving us forward in life. Not bad, not good, just the fact of life. And when we learn about every day, we can use that to identify what holds us back or what moves us forward. For example, day 2 is a day of diplomacy, the day of building relationships, the day when you kind of slow down, you're no longer as charged as you are on the first day. You look into who are you working with. Either it's your friends, family, or colleagues at work, or students, or whoever you, or children, or adults, or whoever you're with, and understand what is lacking in those relationships that compromise your health, or your relationships, or your business, or your creative outbursts. And those are the moments to put attention on it, because exactly at that moment, you have an energy that supports you in not fixing, but making choices that supports you in your goals. The problem in our life is that we take somebody else's goals and we try to accomplish it. Especially mothers do it for children, husbands do it for wives, sometimes wives do it for husbands. We sometimes do it for our co-workers. Sometimes somebody complains, or somebody starts with, I love you so much, could you, plum, 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 plum. And we take upon ourselves things that might not be connected to our strategies, that we just a day ago, we put on a plan, and the next day, I love you so much, all right, and what can I do for you, right? So we look into relationships to see how they support our strategic goals, and the relationships that do not support it, we adjust. So that's the energy that helps you adjust it. And then it also helps you understand what are the cycles in life, right? Because in life, we have 9-year cycles, and every 9-year cycle, the energy repeats itself. But being a psychosomatic practitioner, I can also add that around year 9, you usually have psychosomatic event that shows you it's not a problem. It could look like a problem, health problem or money problem, which is usually the result of the health problem. Usually you see something around last trimester of the 9th cycle, something starts, and right around 9th year, you see a completion of it as a bit of a problem, which is the way our body talks to us and explains what's going on. Not only that, but you being connected with the children and family in the health industry, probably noticed that as well, but that some children are extremely weak and hard to help them, and there are some other children that are robust. So when somebody is giving a birth around this karmic moment, the completion, it's always about health and about completion of something that's not working. And people want something new before the year 1. So they get pregnant and they have children. And so those are the children that carry the completion. So sometimes they have in their health, they have all the incompleted cycles already as a karmic gift from the mother. And karma does not mean something esoteric. Karma is accumulation of our action and consequences that those actions do. Let's say you drink, then you decide, I don't drink anymore, but your body is full of toxins. Or you work as a hairdresser or a manicure, pedicure practitioner, and your body is full of toxins because the chemicals are in the air. And then you feel like you need to have a birth, you need the child, I want the child, this is so good to have a child, and it's a year 9. So all that you've accumulated probably will end up through your tissue, through your genetic in the body. So it's also good to know of the days and the months and the years of completion. So you don't do that, and you don't have a child that takes all your attention and all your investment of energy and money to bring their health to optimal. It's better if you start the new life on the 1st year, not on the 9th year. Same thing happens with the business, for example. If you start the business on the 9th year, it might not necessarily be growing and thriving. It might be completing itself by the end of the year. But if you start something with the good energy, strategizing on the day 1, month 1, and so on, you might get a much better result. Not only that, but the personal calendar, it's our subjective calendar, the energy that we experience based on our birth. But there's also common energy, common days. And those common days also repeat themselves. Why is it so important to know? Because on a day when the whole space is successful, you'll be more successful when you are working with other people. So if you are a computer programmer, you're doing something on your computer, maybe it's not that important. But if you're working with people and you know that day 3, for example, is day of analysis, and when somebody is able to analyze, is able to stop, look, and understand what's best for this particular situation, the result is much better than when you're doing on a run, or when you're doing it under stress, or when you're doing it on an impulse. And so day 3 in the common calendar is the day of success through analysis. So on that day, it's great to sign the papers, it's great to sell something, to buy something. So the same thing happens also on a common day 6, which is the success through love, comfort, and connection with people. So business calendar is the calendar that brings together your personal energy according to your date of birth and your personal cycles, because we all have different cycles. For example, in the same family, I'm having year 4 and my husband is having year 7. Those are different years. Of course, we have different goals. And when those collide, without us knowing that, we might feel that we're not understood and we're not accepted for who we are. But when I understand that what the 7th year is about, and he understands what the 4th year is about, we have something common to discuss and find a solution. So the personal business calendar is not just the guide in navigating the world of stress and hurry and information. It's also a tool that activates your personal energy, allows you to plan according to how you are in this life, allows you to express yourself fully without so much stress, and put ahead of yourself goals that are right for you, that are not necessarily somebody else's goals. So I'm going to stop for a moment. If you have any questions or if you want to add anything, let's just have that moment of discussion, and then we can look further.
I have a question. Actually, how do you count about the business when it's application applied, or when how do you count the number, right? Mm-hmm. For example, you sign the application 21, 24, mm-hmm. and they approved, like city approved, like three months later. So this is the first. So what is the date exactly would be the business day?
Okay. So first of all, how do we calculate anything is, let's just look into formulas first. So we all have a birth day and month and year. So the day of your birth is your personality. What kind of personality? Out of 1 to 9, what kind of personality? So just like day 1 is strategic day, the number 1 personality is a strategist, for example. Just like my day is 25, so 7, my personality 7, is the personality of somebody who wants to do things fast and perfect. And if I'm in year 7, that would be amplifying that need to be fast and perfect, which will give you a lot of frustration sometimes, because sometimes fast is not necessarily perfect, and perfect sometimes takes time. So right now I was working with the calendar and my designer, and it doesn't happen really fast because there are some calculations, and 7 doesn't like calculations. 1, on the other hand, is a material number, and it wants to strategize to have money. So today I had a session with actually somebody from Syucai, and she's 1, and she could not even answer how much does she charge per hour, or how many hours does she work, or what happens when she works 3 times more for the same money. She was totally not into material understanding of where the money is coming from, which means that her energy is low and she cannot strategize. So, first of all, when we do something in a common reality, we need to understand who we are and how to amplify that energy. Okay, so your day is this personality that needs to be amplified. Let's say you're 3, right, Inessa? Yeah.
Mhm.
So on a day 3, your personality is very much supported because you're working with the papers.
Common date or my personal date?
The day of your birth.
No. You talking about calendar on the day 3?
I'm talking about the energy that is the same for everything. I'm trying to show you how it all repeats itself.
Okay.
So what is the day of your birth?
3.
Mine is 25. And
3.
yours is 3. So when you are 3 and the day 3 comes in your calendar, that's the day that supports you. You get success of your energy through analysis and working with instructions and giving other people instructions and creating systems, and all of that supported on a day 3. So first of all, you need to know your personality. Again, repeat for everybody who's listening, which is your day of birth. Then you have an action, how you act in life. If you're over 33, that would be the day of your birth, the month of your birth, the year of your birth, all together brought to a single number. Okay, the day, month, and year put together as a summary and brought to the single number. So my single number is 9. So for me, I am 7, who likes to do things fast and perfect. And then there is 9, which is about promoting other people. So what I'm doing right now, I'm helping you to get forward and be successful in delivering information to your clients and living life according to your calendar, right? So this is my promotion of the idea of the calendar. So on a day 9, I feel much more powerful. Other people might feel like this, but because 9 supports me, it's the day of completion, I really have energy to complete stuff. Okay. Now, how do you calculate the common year? The common year right now is 2025. So it's 2, 2, and 5. All together brought to the single number is 9. So the year everybody is living in right now is 9. If you have your month and your day, that summary, plus the year 9, which is common year, you will understand your own year. So I'm 7. I'm born on 25th. So I'm 7 plus 6, 13, plus 9. All together will come to 4. Why? Because 13 is 1 is 3, 4. And the year 9, any number added to 9 will be the same number, right? So 4 and 9, 13. and you go back to 4. So my personal year is 4. I think Inessa's year is 4 as well, right? Yes. Diana, what's your year?
4.
All right. 4, 4, 4. It's a mystical year. Very good. So we can, if we don't have enough energy, we'll lose money, we'll lose energy, and we'll lose things. Mystically disappeared. I don't even want to tell you what, because I was traveling, and some things which were in my suitcase disappeared. Nobody could know what they are, and I left without. Very strange, but it does happen. I'm not very organized. So this is the year. Now, if you want to understand your months, you take that year that you have 4 and you add the months. So right now it's February, last day of February. So the month is 2. It's a common month. Yeah, January is the first month, February is the second month, right? Everybody lives according to Gregorian calendar. And so we're in the month 2. But if I have my year 4 plus the common year 2, I will have the month number 6. So for everybody is living number 2 in a common reality, an objective reality in which the law of the country exists. And in our country, we use Gregorian calendar. So this is tradition or law of the country. At the same time, in my personal energy, it's the month 6. So it's for you and for you. And month 6 is different from month 2. Month 2 is about relationship and creating useful connections and calling your friends and trying not to break the relationship, because month 2 is a little like this. It's a little sleepy. It's a little in doubts and things like that. And 6 is very similar, but 6 is about making comfortable relationships. A lot of people are looking for other people to give you comfort. But the truth of the matter is that's the month when you create comfortable relationship and you create comfort and you find the love for yourself, what you love, what you don't love, right? And so this is the month. And to get the day, a personal day, you look at the day when you take the months plus the day that is happening right now. So right now is day 28. 2 and 8 is 1. Yes?
Mhm.
So 6 and 1 is my 7th personal day. And what's good about it, when you have a calendar, you don't need to calculate. You just look, and in your calendar, there is day 27, and it says this is the personal day, and this is the common day. How the common day is calculated? You take the common months and you add the common day. And then you have a common year, common months, and common day is what everybody is experiencing. So it's right there in the calendar as well. And only days 3 and 6 are the days of success in objective reality, where you work with other people. What it means, you have documents, for example, that you need to sign and receive some sort of application. Of course, you don't know what's going to happen 3 months from now, but you can submit them on a good day, on the day 3 or 6, and that is already, that energy of the day is already supporting these documents going through smoothly. But if you want them to be signed by authorities on a particular day, you can request that. I would like these documents to be signed on such and such date. Whether they do it or not, I don't know. But when you put them in, when you supply an application on a common day of success through analysis or success through love, chances are they are moving through the channels okay. There are many different ways. You can go overboard with that, or you can just trust the universe that will be done in an appropriate way, but at least you have a control of when to submit it. But if you want to be in control when it's signed, then you need to communicate with the people who are signing and say it is extremely important for me to have a date like that. But there are many different ways to make the business successful. we have this kind of menu. Yeah, this kind of menu, and in this menu we have a particular list of things how to make your business successful, where it needs to be, where the opening of, where the door of the business is, what the name of the business, where the things need to be in the business. There are many different details. So even if you submitted documents in the right time, but maybe they came out in the wrong time, you still have other things to add to make it more comfortable and more successful. Does it answer your question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anything else you want to add? Any other questions?
No, I don't have any. Diana?
So I cannot hear you.
I don't have any.
Okay.
Yep.
Diana?
For me, when I think about personal year, personal day, personal month, personal, all the numbers, it gets very stressful because I'm like, I have to see what day it is. Is it the right day? Is it the wrong day? Is it a good day? Is it a bad day?
Mm-hmm.
So, at what point do we really pay attention to the day and the energy? And at what point do we just kind of, accept the day for what it is? Or at what point do we make changes based on the day? It's overwhelming.
Yeah, totally.
When you think about all
I
the
totally
days.
feel the same way. I'm extremely disorganized person, extremely disorganized. I'm 7, and 7 is not a system person. 9 is system, but I'm only 30% 9 because it's my actions. My personality is 7. So for me to follow anything is an effort. Therefore, I've created a calendar. That is my inspiration to give to everybody, because the calendar exists in Russian language, but it did not exist in English. So I've created a calendar. It's about to be published. You will definitely have a copy. And the reason for that is that, yes, you're absolutely right. If your day is, however it's going, you woke up, you're moving around, and then you have to go to calendar and check what's going on, that's kind of like another thing to do. So what I realized for yourself is, if I understand that there is a beginning and the end, it helps me navigate my ocean of uncertainty. So if I only see day 1, for example, and I have a plan, because once in a while I do create a plan to accomplish things, then my conscious and unconscious mind kind of wraps around it. And now I'm more aware. So the calendar is an awareness tool. It helps you maximize opportunities of seizing the moment. So let's say I woke up at 6:30 and I woke up and I'm full of energy. And the next day I woke up and I have no energy. Oh my God, something happens to me. What's wrong? I need some sort of supplement. No, I know that was day 1st. And on day 1st, there is a boost of energy because we need to move forward. And on day 2, it's different. And then on day 4 is different. And then on day 9 is different. So when I started looking into it, I was not looking every day. I still don't look every day. I look when I have a question. What the hell is going on? So I go and look, and it gives me a certain way of understanding how I can maximize what's going on. So in the beginning, it was just day 1 or day 9, for example. Okay, what didn't I complete this week? What are the hanging things? And having the calendar on your desk is useful because I don't know about you, but I do use the calendar to even like what the day is today. Sometimes when I travel abroad, which I do a lot, I just like, where am I? Who am I? I need some sort of grounding too. So this is the thing that helps improve relationship. Why? Because I know my husband's calendar is different. So I'm not expecting the same boost of energy I have on the first day, because he might have day 6 Or when I wake up on day 6, I cannot get out at 6:30 from my bed like I normally do. 7:30 is the best I can do. And I don't
Okay,
get
so my other question is, I do sometimes also feel the change in the energy, especially like this last month was my month 6. And I felt the whole month just like exhausted and tired, and I just want to lay around and not do anything and, be comfortable and cozy. But at some point, I'm like, oh my God, I need to get up, I need to walk, I need to exercise, but I can't.
totally.
So at what point do I push through that energy that
It's
I'm
up to
feeling,
you.
or do I just accept it and say, okay, this is the month?
Yeah. All right. I have a businessman who he wakes up at 5 and he's surfing in California at 5 o'clock, no matter what the weather. Then he has a business. Then he's a speaker. He was a failing businessman who I helped to put the business together because he's extremely powerful. He was just not aware. And then he became a speaker and he started teaching younger people about the business. And now he's writing a book and all of that together. And he's like, what the hell happened to me? I am not surviving. Something's wrong. I'm like, no, you have a year 6. That's the whole year. I cannot live the year like this, especially because the previous year was the year 5, expansion. He was invited everywhere. He was wanted everywhere. He's gotten money from everywhere. And now he's like, I cannot deal with this. I have no energy. My wife talking. I don't want to hear you. I cannot see anybody. I'm like, okay, great. You're in year 6 and it's 365 days. At least you realize it's only 1 month. You see, it's good to know that thing has the end. Has the end. All right. So
So yes, I do feel like the past few days I have like more energy because I'm like, okay, so like the month is ending.
For sure. So what do
But
you do? What do you do? To push or not to push?
yeah.
It's not a question. It's like to live or not to live, to be or not to be, right? You are. This is the whole point of it, is to understand this is how I am and this is how I work with this energy. So when you are in year 6 and month 6 and day 6, you could feel a little more need to be more aware, more attuned to your own personal needs. But if you don't have enough energy, if you're not in your resource, if you are not switched and plugged into source, if you're plugged into kids or husbands or this or that, or your protocols at life, when you are plugged into the energy that is, which kids do always, no matter what age, or husband, which they do no matter what age, then you are out of resource. And when you're out of resource, to push yourself is absolutely impossible. But what I realized, walking does help, because you are alone, you are breathing and you're noticing the nature. And this is where the energy comes from. It doesn't come from people, especially when they say, I love you, because after these words comes the next phrase, and please do this. But I love you. Therefore, you have to do it for me. And so this is what 6 is about. Somebody loves us is a hook for our energy. If we have a lot, no problem. If we don't have enough, it is a problem. We don't want that. Therefore, the answer is, and I love you too. What do you want from me? You're not going to get it because I'm out of resource. And that's pretty much all you can say. But what I do more on a day 6 is I have a sauna in my house. It's a small sauna. I had the bigger sauna in Illinois. Here I have like a fabric sauna, and that's where I spend an hour on a day like that. I have a massage, infrared massage device. I lay down and I give myself a massage. And that's where I get the energy. Most importantly, I accept that. Yes, you accept that. Because by the simple act of saying, that's fine, this is what it is, you give yourself permission. After you've given yourself permission, energy comes back. It's when you judge yourself, that's where you lose.
Yeah.
But
I
I
have
should.
been judging myself.
But I should. But I should. Maybe you should. Maybe you shouldn't. But even using this word is taking energy off you. Now you are thinking about things that you are not able to do. We had this discussion yesterday. My daughter, my husband, and I accept I have no willpower and I never will. And they started laughing. I accept that. This is who I am. There is no willpower in me. There is no willpower whatsoever. I try to do things that do not challenge me to use my willpower. If I have chocolate lying around, it's very hard. I don't buy. Only sometimes. Okay. Yesterday he brought a big bread, seeded bread or something like that. Don't challenge me. Of course I eat like 3 pieces with the butter on top. I have no willpower. But if it's not around, I'm okay. I accept myself for who I am and I move forward toward my goals. So the key benefits of using the calendar is it helps you identify the best days to do things that you can do. It helps you identify the days you cannot do it, so don't plan it. On the day 6, you know you're not going to plan something that you're not going to do. It provides insights into how your energy interacts with other people's energy for this particular day. It helps you plan for material results on the material days. I'm not planning to make big purchases on day 7 or 4. Those are mystical days. I talk to universe. This is not the days when I'm gonna, invest on the market, for example. It helps maintain emotional stability. Because you don't.
So what days would we invest in the market?
1, 8, 3. The days that have strategy, analysis, stability, understanding the process, control of the process. It prevents our energy to burn out, to be overwhelmed with all the tasks we put on ourselves on a day we're not able to do anything about it. And it optimizes the days with the high energy to do something that you normally would not do on a low kind of day, like 2 and 6. Let me be comfortable and go away from me, that kind of energy. But if you're full of energy, you would want to be with people. And actually, on a day 6, to be with people is very good because it allows you to connect from this personal energy of I understand you. And then it helps you to do decisions that are mindful. I understand that this is not a good day to make a decision, and this is a little better day. And it helps balance your states. My state is full of energy today. I'm full of energy. I take that opportunity. This day, I have no energy, but as a 7, I want to take all the opportunities, and then I get overwhelmed. So, okay, I know this is not my day to do this. That's okay. So it's unlocking your power.
Month 7, what we're gonna expect from month 7? You're 7, so
month 7 is fast. It runs fast. It is transformational energy. It gets you into some mystical events that you would not get into month 6, for example, because 7 is like something like that. So you need to be extremely careful with the money, but you're 3. 3 is usually in analysis. Even on a day 7, you are you. So you look into things from the perspective of how it is convenient and comfortable and useful and beneficial for me. You always analyze. Is it going to have any money? Is it going to have any usefulness for me? And because of that, you might not run as fast as I would, for example, on that day. It's a day when you start hearing the universe a little louder. The universe speaks all the time, but at that point, you kind of feel like, But month 7 is the month that could put you in jeopardy in terms of energy, bless you. So it's important to keep the discipline of the mind by using the discipline of the body. So walking every day for sure. Walking 15,000 steps would be great or more. Drinking water in the morning to eliminate acidity. You use sour fruits. Sour fruits actually bring down acidity. It gives you more base in your more alkaline body. And planning is extremely important, because the archetype of the 7 is it's like a meteorite, this kind of energy. So you want to slow down through analysis, through the discipline, so your head stays clear, so you don't have impulsive. 7 is always about impulsive things, impulsive transformation. So you bring the energy up to your head through walking, for example. Who is there? All right. Any other things? Any other questions?
No, not for today, I think.
So we have the basic of the calendar figured out. And again, the calendar unlocks the power within. It's the power of conscious action. It's not just the power to act, which we have impulsively all the time, but it's the power to act accordingly to the energy, that to the flow of every day that is connected to the flow of who we are. And the personal number, consciousness number, reflects who you are, and the personal day reflects how who you are interacts with your personal energy flow, and gives you self-awareness when you need to do things, and when you have energy to push, and when you don't. And you are 2. Your personality is 2. And because your personality is 2, you're very different from me or from Inessa, because you're all about building relationship. You are not to compromise. You are not to scream at anybody. You want to be a diplomat. And your energy could be sucked out of you just because some of these things, it always happens, because people are people. So some of these things are not working according to your liking, but you're going to swallow it. You're not going to express it, because 2 is a diplomat. And the goal, for example, in the personal life, the goal is the family. In the work life, the goal is the service. In the money, the money is for somebody else. This is how 2 operates. But remembering that 2 is nice and quiet up to the point, but when you're completely sucked out of the energy, you need the energy somewhere, that's where that explosion could happen, and it would not be beneficial for you or other people. And therefore, for 2, using the planning day, for example, day 1 or the day 3, to build the competencies of how that energy supports you on that day, this is the competency that is going to be good for you on this day. So on day 4, for example, it's a mystical day for mystical knowledge. You go and you listen to Syucai and you walk. But on a day 3, for example, you analyze how the laws of Syucai or the laws of the universe are matched with your personal life, for example. And every time you have that, it's like a whisper of the universe, because this knowledge is very deep. It's very business-like, but there's a lot of deep lineage knowledge, that wisdom of people that came here before us. Because actually, Zhanat Kazhimzharov, who is the originator of the knowledge, is like lineage. His lineage is connected to very wise Kazakh people. My lineage are connected to very wise Siberian people. I came from Siberia. So wherever you're born, you get the energy and the knowledge of the earth as well. And so understanding yourself and understanding that you're not alone, that you have a support, and that system of Syucai actually is a big support for everybody who might not be as clairvoyant or as clairsentient. and only feel the energy is not there, it's a great grid at which you can look. This is the day in the matrix, and this is how I can use it so my energy is not lost. And always thinking about where the energy comes from. For me, energy comes from analyzing other people. This is where I'm happy. There is a formula for happiness in Syucai, which I reveal in my consultations, and how I can get successful in my work. There is another formula. And then there is the formula of what makes me happy as a personality, right? So for me is analyzing and give suggestions or ideas. And for you is to train somebody, to mentor somebody, to teach somebody. And so if you're not doing it, your energy is gonna collapse. But if you're doing more of the teaching, or more of the sharing, more of the mentoring, that's where your energy grows. And then on a day when the energy is low, you're not gonna feel it as much. So it's best to prepare yourself for the life, for the every day, every month, every year. Prepare yourself with doing something that satisfies your soul. And for your soul, for your personality, is a mentoring. So you have to talk and teach and show people the right way. And it's not there yet. It's totally okay. You're doing it in small qualities because you're one-on-one with your clients. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have more people, one-on-one gives you this much energy, bigger group, more energy. Not right now. Whenever you're ready, no pushing here. It's just an idea. But on a day 2, try to make connections to more people. Maybe you work not with one child, not with one mother, but with the whole family. And you do a Zoom call, for example, and you see the whole family and you understand the child so much better. But they also understand what they need to do to support your work. That's already mentoring. And that will give you a boost of energy.
Okay.
All right. So any other things that we need to discuss today? Are we happy?
We are happy.
We're happy. I'm happy because I do what I do best, to share the ideas. You're happy because you're sitting there analyzing, both of you. And Diana is the natural salesperson. So at some point she'll sell our genius ideas and genius services to the world by mentoring and teaching people what's right about Syucai. All right, so we're gonna complete our broadcast. Thank you very much for supporting our efforts, and we will come back next Friday to do more of our English-based Syucai group study. Mastery of Syucai, being a master of your life.
Thank you.
Thank you.